Welcome to the lullaby. Let's begin with today's story. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Let your body settle. Let your mind quiet. Tonight, you're spending an evening with someone who knows the harbor better than anyone. The harbor master, who's been watching over these waters for 40 years. Who knows every boat, every tide, every shift in the wind. You're sitting in a small office that juts out over the water. Windows on 3 sides. Views of the entire harbor. Boats bobbing at their moorings. Water reflecting the late afternoon sun. Everything bathed in gold. The harbor master is an older man. 65, maybe 70. Hard to tell. The sea ages people differently. His face is weathered but kind. Deep lines around his eyes from squinting at horizons. From watching. From being the one who keeps everything safe. He's offered you tea. Strong black tea in a chipped mug. You're sitting in a worn chair by the window. He's at his desk. Not working. Just existing. Watching the harbor the way he always does. Even when there's nothing specific to watch. It's his habit. His life. Quiet evening, he says. Not really to you. Just commenting. The way people do when they're comfortable with silence but want to acknowledge the moment. You nod. Sip your tea. It's hot and strong. Perfect. The office is full of things. Charts on the walls. Yellowed with age but still accurate. Nautical maps showing depths and channels. Hazards marked in red. Safe passages in blue. Someone drew these by hand decades ago. They've been updated over the years. Pencil marks. Notes in margins. A living document of the harbor's geography. Old photographs. Black and white. Brown with age. The harbor in different eras. Sailing ships. Steamships. Wooden fishing boats. Each photo a window to the past. The harbor master's father in some of them. Younger. Standing where his son stands now. Same job. Same harbor. Different time. Ship models on shelves. Some are crude. Made by children. Some are intricate. Built by masters. All gifts. All precious. People give him models. Thank you for watching over us. For keeping us safe. For being here. The models accumulate. Covering every surface. A fleet in miniature. A radio crackling softly with occasional transmissions. VHF channel 16. The universal hailing frequency. Ships calling other ships. Coast Guard transmissions. Weather reports. Mayday calls sometimes. Though rarely. Thank God. The radio never stops. Always on. Always listening. Just in case. A logbook open on the desk. Pages filled with neat handwriting. Records of arrivals and departures. Of tides and weather. Times written precisely. Boat names. Registration numbers. Destinations. A history of this harbor written one day at a time. 40 years of days. 40 years of entries. Been doing this job since I was 25, he says. Looking out at the water. My father was harbor master before me. His father before him. It's in the blood, they say. The need to watch over things. To keep boats safe. To know the water. You watch him watching the harbor. There's something peaceful about his attention. His focus. He's not anxious. Not worried. Just aware. Present. Paying attention because that's his job. His calling. His way of being in the world. Every boat out there, he says, gesturing to the harbor. I know it. Who owns it? Where it came from? Where it's been? Boats have stories like people do. Maybe more, because they last longer, outlive their owners sometimes, pass through generations. He points to a blue sailboat. That one came here from California. Couple bought it, sailed it through the canal. Took them 6 months. They're in their 70s now. Still go out. Not as far, but they still sail. Another boat. Red hull. Fishing vessel. Family owned. 3 generations working that boat. Father and sons. Sometimes daughters too. They know these waters like I do. Maybe better. He continues. Boat by boat. Each one a story. Each one connected to people. To journeys. To the life of this harbor. You listen. Not saying much. Just being here. Sharing this evening. This view. This peaceful watching. The sun is lower now. The gold is deepening. Becoming orange. The water is catching it. Reflecting it back. Everything glowing. The boats. The docks. The far shore. All touched by this late light. Best time of day, the harbor master says. This hour. When the work's done. Boats are in. Everyone's accounted for. No emergencies. Just peace. Just watching the sun go down. I've seen it thousands of times. Never gets old. A boat is coming in. Small fishing boat. Single person at the wheel. The harbor master watches. Not interfering. Just observing. Making sure it finds its berth. Making sure everything's okay. The boat slides into its space perfectly. Lines are secured. Engine cuts off. The fisherman waves up at the office. The harbor master waves back. That's Tom, he says. Fishes alone. Has for years. Lost his partner to cancer. Couldn't bear to have someone else on the boat. Says it feels wrong. So he goes alone. Does okay. Catches enough. Seems content in his way. More stories. More boats. The harbor is full of them. Full of history. Of people and their vessels. Of work and play. Of those who depend on the sea and those who just love it. All sharing this space. All under the harbor master's watch. The radio crackles. A voice. Requesting permission to enter the harbor. The harbor master picks up the handset. His voice changes. Professional now. Calm. Clear. He gives instructions. Tells them which berth is available. Warns of a shallow spot near the entrance. The voice thanks him. Roger that. We'll proceed carefully. Minutes later, the boat appears. Coming through the harbor mouth between the breakwaters. Moving slowly. Following the instructions. The harbor master watches. Nods when it's safely in. Secured properly. Everyone safe. That's what matters. 38 years, he says. And I still get satisfaction from that. From helping boats come home safe. From being the one who knows the harbor. Who guides people in. Simple thing. But it matters. At least to me it does. The tea is gone. The mug sits empty on the desk. The sun is nearly at the horizon now. The gold has shifted to deep orange. To red. The water is darker. The boats are silhouettes. The harbor is transforming from day to evening. That liminal time. Stay as long as you want. the harbor master says. I'll be here a while yet. Like to watch the sunset. Make sure everything's settled for the night. Then I'll go home, have my dinner, come back in the morning and do it all again. You stay, sitting quietly, watching with him. There's something meditative about it. About observing the harbor, seeing the light change, watching boats rock gently in their slips, hearing the soft sounds of water against hulls, of lines creaking, of gulls calling their evening conversations. More boats come in, a few at a time. The day's sailors returning, some from fishing, some from just being out, from sailing for the pleasure of it. Each one finds its place, ties up, shuts down. The harbor is filling, gathering its boats, bringing them home. The harbor master knows them all, nods to this one, waves to that one, picks up the radio occasionally to give guidance, to confirm a berth, to offer help, but mostly he just watches. Present, available, the steady guardian of this small piece of water. Lights are coming on now. On the boats, on the docks, along the shore. Each boat has its own lights. White cabin lights, red and green running lights. Some have strings of lights along their rigging. Decorative, festive, making the harbor look like celebration. The harbor master points them out. That one always goes overboard with lights. Owner says his wife likes them, makes her happy, so he strings them up every season. Takes them down in winter. Every spring, back they go. Been doing it for years. He chuckles. People think I'm all business. Rules and regulations. But I like the lights. Make the harbor pretty. Give it personality. As long as they don't interfere with navigation, I don't mind. Let people express themselves. The town is illuminating too. Buildings along the waterfront. Street lights. Shop windows still glowing. The harbor cafe where fishermen drink coffee at dawn. The chandlery where they buy their supplies. The pub where they tell their stories. All part of the harbor's ecosystem. All connected. This harbor, the harbor master says, gesturing broadly, is alive. It breathes, changes with the seasons, with the tides, with the people who use it. I've watched it grow, watched boats come and go, watched businesses open and close, watched children grow up on these docks and become sailors themselves. It's a community. That's what people don't always understand. It's not just boats. It's people, connections, history. He points to a dock where children are fishing. Even now, in the dimming light, parents watching nearby. Those kids, he says. I watched their parents fish from that same dock when they were that age. Now they're bringing their own children. Circle continues. Harbor endures. A dog barks somewhere. Happy bark. Not alarm. Just a dog being a dog near water. The harbor master smiles. That's Max. Golden retriever. Belongs to the couple on the boat with the blue stripe. Max loves the harbor. Swims off the dock. Chases gulls. Never catches them, but he keeps trying. Good dog. More details. More stories. The harbor is full of them. Every boat, every person, every animal even, all part of the tapestry. All woven together by this place. By the water. By the shared love of being near the sea. People don't understand, the harbor master says quietly. They think it's boring. Watching. Waiting. Being here. But it's not. It's, I don't know. Peaceful. Purposeful. I'm part of something. Part of the harbor's life. Part of its rhythm. 40 years I've been part of it. And I'm grateful. Every single day. The sun touches the horizon. That moment of perfect balance. Half up, half down. The sky is magnificent. Orange and pink and purple. Clouds lit from below. The water reflecting all of it. A mirror of color. You've seen sunsets before. Many times. But this one feels special. Shared with this man. In this place. This harbor that's been his life's work. The sun slips lower. Faster now. That's how it goes at the end. Slow descent, then suddenly quick. Touching the water. Sinking into it. Leaving its colors behind. Staining the sky. There it goes, the harbor master says. Softly. With reverence. Like he's witnessing something sacred. Which maybe he is. The end of another day. Another successful day of keeping the harbor safe. The office is dimmer now. The harbor master turns on a small lamp. Warm light fills the space. Not bright. Just enough to see by. The windows become mirrors. Reflecting the lamp. Reflecting the two of you sitting here. The world outside becomes harder to see. But you can still make out shapes. Boats. Water. Lights. I should check the weather report, he says. See what tomorrow brings. Always check before I leave for the night. Need to know if there's anything coming. Storms. High winds. Anything that might affect the boats. He turns to a computer. Old model. Slow. But functional. Pulls up weather websites. Radar. Forecasts. Studies them carefully. Nods. Looks good. Calm night. Calm tomorrow. That's good. Everyone can rest easy. He closes the computer. Sits back. Looks at you. Smiles. Thank you for keeping me company. Gets quiet sometimes. Good to have someone to share it with. The harbor. The sunset. The evening. You smile back. Thank him for the tea. For the stories. For letting you be here. In this space. In this moment. In his world. Come back anytime, he says. Doors always open. Well, during working hours. I do go home eventually, he chuckles. Wife insists. Says I'd sleep here if she let me. She's probably right. You stand to leave. But you linger at the window for one more moment. Looking out at the harbor now fully in evening mode. Boats at rest. Water quiet. lights glowing, everything peaceful, everything in its place. This is what the harbor master sees every night. This is his reward for a day of watching, of being alert, of keeping everyone safe. This peaceful scene, this quiet beauty, this harbor settling into night. You leave the office, walk down the ramp to the dock. Your footsteps echo on the wooden planks. Around you, boats creak softly. Water laps gently, a peaceful symphony of nighttime harbor sounds. You walk along the waterfront, passing restaurants where people are having dinner, shops closing for the night. The town transitioning, like the harbor, moving from day to evening, from work to rest. You think about the harbor master, about his 40 years of watching, of knowing every boat, every story, about his satisfaction in the simple act of keeping things safe, of being present, of being part of something larger than himself. There's wisdom in that, in finding your place, in doing your work with care, in watching over things, in being the steady presence that others depend on. Not glamorous, not exciting, but essential, and deeply satisfying to those who understand. You reach your own place, your own harbor of sorts, your own safe space where you can rest. You prepare for bed slowly, thinking about boats finding their berths, about the harbor master making his final checks, about the peaceful rhythm of a harbor at night. You lie down, close your eyes. You can still see the harbor, the boats rocking gently, the water reflecting lights, the harbor master at his window. Your breathing slows, matches the rhythm of those gentle swells. In and out, in and out. Sleep comes like sunset, gradually, beautifully. You sleep deeply, peacefully, safe in your berth. The harbor master will be back tomorrow, before dawn, opening up, watching the sun rise, watching the boats wake up, head out for another day. And he'll be there, watching, guiding, the steady guardian. And you'll sleep, rest, knowing someone watches over the boats, knowing the harbor is safe. Sleep now, deep sleep, safe in your harbor. Sleep.